We are back. New York City baseball, past, present, and future. Actually, today it's New York Met baseball, past, present, future. I'm Ralph Tyko. My co-host is Marty Rose. How are you, Mert?
I am good. How are you, Ralph?
Oh, not bad at all. We're getting along. It's always an adjustment at the end of the season. A lot of time to fill in terms of games coming on, who's pitching, listening, watching, thinking about it. And how do you adjust at the end of a year?
Very difficult. It's like withdrawal, you know, because you got baseball every night for 6 months, every night. And all of a sudden,
before that, spring training. It's very difficult.
It is. I'm not a big fan of the NHL or the NBA, really. I like the college football on Saturday. I like the pro football on Sunday. When college basketball starts, I'm into college basketball. So.
Yeah, well, you have something. You know what I do, Mert, and I can send you a link to it. It's a game that I picked up. It's a computer sim game where it's like, remember the old ABBA games and Stratomatic, Dice Baseball?
Oh, yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Well, they've put this on a computer, and the game that I subscribe to, there are others, some a little bit more in depth, but mine is terrific. It's called Baseball Mogul, and they sent me a link to when I bought it. They sent me a link, and I downloaded it. Still have the link. I'll put it in the mail to you. I'll send it to you. And you can play it in any number of ways. You can take, say, a season of 1962, and you can play. It will give you all the teams, and basically, if you play it, you'll get a representation statistically of what these guys do. You know, it's all odds and probabilities, and baseball's a great way to do it. And they have it all built in, their fielding range and how they hit and left-hand batters. You can set lineups. You can change lineups. You can make your own leagues. You can take teams. What I do, I play a league that I devised of my favorite teams or the best teams of each franchise when you and I were growing up. Here are the teams in the league that I play. Got the 55 and the 55 Dodgers, 54 Giants. You got I have 10 teams, so I also have the 62 Giants and the 63 Dodgers. But I've got the 58 Braves. I've got the 64 Phillies and Cardinals. I've got the 69 Cubs. Don't have the Mets in this one. This is only the only team. I got the 61 Reds. I have the 60 Pirates. So these teams go against each other, and you can play. You can play against the computer. You can play the teams you want to play.
That's wild.
It really keeps me going, and you can take a franchise and start it in any year and follow it through. So you play that team, and you can draft with fictional players, or you can make trades or don't make trades. You can turn off the injury factor entirely so guys don't get hurt. That's what I do. Remember when we were kids, it was the worst part. The Yankees, for instance. Remember how hurt Mantle was so many times?
Sure.
And this, for instance, this game, you could turn off the injury factor. So there's a learning curve to it, and there's no real instructional book per se. They give you the rough outline of how to do it, but once you get used to it, it's very addicting, and it fills my baseball Jones. So I'll send you a link to it. Anybody out there want to go look into it? It's called Baseball Mogul, and they have different sports that they do. There's a football mogul and what have you, but baseball plays very well to statistics. These games, there's some and they go modern statistics as well. So, OPS and this OPS and this, that, and the other thing.
Sure.
So that's my baseball Jones filler in the wintertime, and I've started a new league. And time to talk a little Mets, see what's going on. This has been a very telling week. They offered, apparently there's, you know more about this, Mert. Talk about what they did with Walker. Talk about that rule and the money given. I think $1.7 million or $17 million, something like that.
They offered Neil Walker what they call the qualifying offer, and I believe that there's a certain amount that is set every year for that. So, I mean, last year with Murphy, it was 16.2 or 3. Now it's up to 17.2.
That just means they can bid. He's a free agent, and they can bid. Is that the idea?
He's a free agent, but there's a certain amount of time that the Mets have to give him this qualifying offer. He's got a certain amount of time to accept it. If he accepts it, that's fine. But the history of these things is that hardly anybody ever accepts it. Last year, I think, was the first year that maybe 2 guys on other teams actually accepted the offer. But, most of them go for free agency. But in Walker's case, since he's coming off back surgery, it's unknown what other teams are going to offer him because who knows how he is. You're going to offer the guy 3 or 4 year deal coming off back surgery? I don't know.
Well, they made a qualifying offer. They must know something about his health situation, or they made the qualifying.
By doing that, if somebody else, I think if somebody else signs him, they have to give a draft pick. And once you offer somebody a qualifying offer.
Gotcha.
So they did the same thing to Cespedes, but obviously we know that, he's going to just hang out there until the best offer comes in. And
could be the best offer. They still have permission to talk to him.
Well, yeah, he's a free agent. He can. Yeah, anybody, including the Mets, can talk to him. So. Right. And then they've got Kelly Johnson, Loney, Diaza, all those guys are free agents. They let Eric Campbell go. I think they're letting Jim Henderson walk. I even heard that
Nemo
weren't key on. What's that?
Nemo is too early for that, and so is Conforto.
Oh yeah, no, those guys.
Yeah, no. So they're fine.
They have to be. Yeah, they have to be protected on the 40-man roster,
Right.
So.
How do you see the outfield shaping up if, in fact, Cespedes does go elsewhere? Do you figure Granderson to go to left? Lagares come back, play center?
Obviously,
Granderson
Bruce is in right.
Right.
Bruce is going to be in right. That they picked up his $13 million option for next year. So Bruce is in right. Grandy will probably be in left, and they can platoon Lagares and Conforto in center. You know,
I wonder if Conforto's if Grandy's not a better center fielder than Conforto is.
Well, I mean, they could play Grandy
in center, put Lagares in late, Conforto and Nemo in left.
Unless they go out and sign somebody else. But all the people out there are going to cost them almost as much as Cespedes for the big names. And some of these guys got some age on them, you know, like Encarnacion and Batista. These guys have age on them. You're not giving them 5-year deals. No way.
Is Holiday a free agent? I'm curious about that.
You know, I think he is. Matt Holiday?
Yeah, because he fits that bill, being in his middle 30s. And
I remember at the end of the season when he came up, I think as a pinch hitter, and they gave him a standing ovation in St. Louis.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that he's not going to be back there. So, I think he's a free agent, but you know, I'm not sure how old he is. How much would you offer?
Except the year he played in Oakland, and he wasn't happy here at all. He's had a good career, but it'd be nice to have him on the same team. Just the name that you elicited basically by talking about a middle-aged guy. You know, how then it comes down to how many years you're going to give him.
I don't know. It's difficult for sure.
Yeah.
It's the back end of these contracts that are always a problem. You give guys a lot of years. You know, you might get 2 good years. Well, he's already 36, Ralph.
Holiday?
Holiday.
Really? Yeah. You don't want to get multi.
So, you know, is he going to sign a 1-year deal? Maybe. Give him a 1-year deal. But
let's
36,
see what Cespedes gets. I wonder, because there's a lot of mixed stuff about him. And it was no denying the stats he put up in 15 helped get them to the World Series. No denying that. That was probably up there with some of the best free agent signings ever. Mm-hmm. And it's not like he had a horrible year this year. And
no, he was hurt. He played, 130 games, something like that?
Right. Therein lies a problem.
87 RBIs.
He's always coming up with these pulled hamstrings. He's very tight, put-together guy. You know, he's just...
Yeah, it's the quad. He has quad problems all year long. Yeah.
Right.
And, the other thing with him is I don't know if he wears out his welcome. He seemed to wear out his welcome with other teams he was on after a year or two. They all let him walk away. I don't know, maybe it's the lack of hustle all the time, or something else. I don't know, but all I know is he really liked it here in New York. Everybody says that, you know, and he likes the atmosphere. He likes the golf courses.
He's not leaving under bad circumstances where he won't negotiate.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so best could come out of that. How's Alderson's doing with his health? Is there talk about that? Is he?
No, they never talk about that. They never talk about it. But I assume that he had prostate cancer surgery. I believe that's what he had. And
I don't know.
Well, these days.
I don't think it was that. I think it was a blood cancer.
Was it? Okay.
Might have been, but that's off the top of my head. I don't know.
Well, they never discuss it.
Okay.
Never.
He was going through some treatments, and I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I assume that he's fine, you know.
It's got to be a stressful position.
No question about it. No, yeah.
Anyway,
and he's getting up there in age. He's I'm sure he's like our age group, about 70.
Right.
So he has to be.
Right. This is the year, Mert, when we're both turning 70, and they told Casey Stengel that goodbye with the Yankees. He said, "I'll never make the mistake of turning 70 again."
No, this is true.
And he never did. He
never did.
Story.
No.
He lived the rest of his life never making that mistake again. No. But I'm going to make that mistake come midnight tonight, and it isn't a mistake. It's a privilege, Mert.
There you go. Big doings. Yeah. Hey, it's nice to make it this far, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can say it's been an interesting, fulfilling, exciting ride.
Yeah.
But interesting and tumultuous at times.
Absolutely.
And that's what life's about, I guess, at least for me.
So in any case, what about the pitching?
Well, I was going to ask first about the catching. Luke Croy was
the
out.
catching. Okay.
And I think if they could get Luke Croy, that would really solidify them. I mean, it would solve not just his bat, which is probably the best hitting catcher around, but just having a guy, an everyday guy who can play a little D and take care of that bottom half of the lineup of the order.
He's 30 years old, and he's a free agent. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they don't land Cespedes or anybody of that caliber, they should have some money to throw around. So,
yeah,
I would go all in.
Go anywhere, I'd like to see it go his way, and I was disappointed a couple of times when they didn't trade for him. There was strong rumors last year.
Yeah.
And we'll see. But you said, speaking of pitching, and you made one of the most interesting remarks to me earlier in the week on the phone chatting.
About turning one of the starters into a reliever?
Right. When Familia, and again, I don't know is there anything new on his case?
No, they delayed it for till next week. They delayed it a week. His lawyer asked for like a deferment for an extra week or something. So I don't know how it's going to go, but you got to figure that he's going to be suspended for some length of time. It's unknown.
It's the innocence, but murder. It's like guilty till innocent, or innocent till guilty type thing too. But you have to make contingency plans, one way or the other.
I tell you, I wouldn't be opposed to making Reed the closer.
I was going to say, yeah.
And I think I've heard talk that they might move Robles up to the eighth inning. Now he's pretty young, Robles, and he showed some signs last year of possibly being really good. He does have his moments. Where he gets his ass kicked in, but for the most part, he's got some good stuff. So that
maybe
that would be a possibility.
Come in for the seventh inning.
Yeah, well, it depends how many healthy starters they're going to have at the beginning of the year. We don't know that yet. You know,
they don't.
We don't know how. Have you heard anything on Wheeler? I've heard nothing on Wheeler. You know, so you don't know where he's
every
at.
3 weeks they would say last year that Wheeler's 3 weeks away.
Yeah, well,
that's what they'd say. And first it was the All-Star break, it was this, that, and the other thing, and he never pitched a lick.
No.
I wonder how Harvey is coming.
Well, I heard Harvey's doing well. I heard Harvey's doing well, and I'm assuming that DeGrom's going to be fine. Haven't heard much about Matt. So
did DeGrom have a bone chip operation?
No, Matt. I think Matt had the. Did Matt have a surgery? I believe he did. Okay. And they did not do anything with Syndergaard either. He didn't have any surgery either. So so you got Yanoa and you got Lugo and Gazelman. They're probably all going to be back and healthy. So if I had to do it right now, I'd put Reed, in the ninth and Robles in the eighth. I think they might do that. But, if they feel that one of these young guns would be better suited for an inning here, an inning there, instead of, pitching, 80, 90 pitches every 5 days, why not? If they have numbers, I don't know which one they would pick. I don't know which one I'd pick, to tell you the truth. Matt
I've always
very
liked
brittle.
I like Gazelman, and I think
he looked really good.
He really came from nowhere. 15th prospect last year coming in. Generally speaking, that's a long shot, and he developed, and I like the innings he gave him. I like Lugo's innings too. So I think the future's strong in terms of the staff. They can't possibly go through the kind of year that they went through last year with injuries, just by the numbers, the laws of probabilities. I wonder if the training staff got to last another year. Was there anything about that?
Haven't heard a thing. That guy Ray Ramirez has been the trainer since Omar Minaya hired him, and he's still there. So
right. Well, that's all the kind of stuff that you can't really put your finger on. It's all subjective stuff. You can't analyze it and say, well, maybe there are just some years when the injury bug gets you. But I'm thinking there should be, if there's this many injuries, there has to be something preventative in the stretching, or I don't know. I know
6-man rotation. I'm telling you. If you got to throw 98, 99, 100 miles an hour, you need more rest. That's it. I really think so. And they develop. They're healthy. They got enough guys to do it.
Develop off-speed pitches where you don't have to throw. You could throw 91 as your fastball, and if you have a 75-mile-an-hour changeup, you're going to be striking guys out. I don't know where.
See Bartolo Colon.
Right, exactly.
You just described him.
It was always just the difference between your off-speed pitch and your fastball.
Right.
Well, even Warren Spahn would say that pitching is all throwing guys off, throwing the things they don't expect, the surprises. I don't know where baseball came to everybody's got to throw fast, because literally the faster they go in, the faster they can be hit out. And so we'll see. Maybe that fad will go away with all the injuries, and that could have something to do with it. Let's talk infield. Pitching can be talking pitching can be very depressing. So sometimes. Apparently,
so a lot of question marks. Well, we got bodies. We just got question marks, you know.
Right. Yes. Duda at first. You think he'll come back? And
he's supposed to be back. Yeah, I think they want Duda back. I think he's arbitration eligible, but he's coming off an injury year, so they shouldn't cost them that much more than he was getting before.
Right.
Seeing as how he missed almost all of last year. So I would
if
assume
Walker isn't signed,
if he doesn't take the qualifying offer and they don't offer him a deal, then
they'll get a draft, or he doesn't.
Left with, I'm sorry.
Left with the draft choice and left with Flores.
Flores, and then you also have a possibility of Reyes depending on Wright's health. Because,
Reyes lighting up second, yes.
Yeah, so a lot depends on Wright's health. No big question mark there.
Of course.
So, even if he does come back, even if he's healthy, to some extent, he still has the back problem, and he's still, even if the neck is fine, you'd be lucky if he plays 120 games maybe. But if you have Flores and Reyes, those guys are all interchangeable.
Yeah.
Flores and Reyes could play second, third, or short. So that's great to have, them.
The Reyes signing was terrific, and Cabrera gave them a year that no one expected.
True.
That was nice.
It was very good. No question. So
nice rundown, Mert. I think we got it covered. This has been a good one, as usual.
All right. Good.
I'm going to get that link to you. You can download the game, and you'll enjoy it. And
okay, Ralph.
At least learning whether or not you like it is fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So during the week, let me know what's on tap for next week, and
I certainly will. I look forward to it, and just have a great week and keep on keeping on, my friend.
And have a happy tomorrow.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
What'd you say? Your great expression, I told Tally, leaving six decades in the dust. That kind of sums it all up.
Doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Beautiful way of putting it. All right. I'm forgetting the mortality part, and I'm laughing.
Good.
See you later.
Keep it up. All right.
Bye, everybody. You too. Keep on keeping on. Adios, guys.